All righty, thank you for coming back to Soda City Live. Our next guest, they have a local podcast, and it's amazing what they're doing with this podcast because right now they are able to talk about a nonprofit that was created out of that. We're talking about the Hilltop Glove podcast, which has been created into the creative nonprofit. So joining me today, we have Kevin Saggers and Tamaya Allen. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
We really appreciate it. Tamaya, we are used to seeing Tamaya. I have to shout her out. She's come on here one time. She's done some yoga moves with us, but she's typically behind the scenes with James Patrick, our Be Well Wednesday friend. So it's good to see you in front of the camera because you have a lot going on. Kevin, you do as well. Tell us more about the podcast. If you're looking for what specific topics, why do people need to listen to you guys?
Okay, so our podcast essentially started as a result of a COVID project. You know, COVID was going on, a lot of people on lockdown, and so we're like, what can we do that's creative and at the same time we can still connect with others? And what we realized was at the time was that even before COVID, there were a lot of interesting people that we knew in the community that we really didn't have time to connect with that were fellow creatives. Just because when we went to events and we went to things, either they were busy doing something, either were participating or running that event, and vice versa with us. And so Hilltop Glove was just a creation of that. And so, especially in our first season, we're like, well, who are all the people that we know locally that we always wanted to have a conversation with and just learn more about? Not just about what makes them, like what motivates them to do what they do, but what's it like off the camera? Like, we all know that you have great Instagram pictures, you got great TikTok videos, but what's it like when you're waking up and you gotta get your kids up to go to school? You know what I mean? What's the realty, right? And that's what it's about for us. It's just like being able to kind of just take down that veil a little bit so people can actually see that all the people that we love locally
Tell us
are
some
just
of the
regular
people you've
like you.
interviewed.
Nada Rutherford,
Yeah.
Willpower,
Yep.
Shakise,
Yeah.
Wilson Bain
Yeah,
from
Wilson Bain.
Columbia Museum of Art. We have a whole list of Chandra Cleveland.
Yeah. Cleveland.
So a lot of people that we are used to seeing in this like official
Yes.
role, we're getting a behind the scenes look at them.
Exactly
I love that. So tell me how creative was, or create,
Yes,
rather,
create, yeah.
was birthed out of this movement.
So what happened was when we were speaking with a lot of creatives, especially in our first season, we started noticing that they had the same concerns with the arts community. And so a lot of those things were possibly like lack of collaboration amongst fellow creatives, lack of access to resources, whether or not that's grants through funding, access to venues to be able to put on exhibits or events, and then just fellowship.
Yeah. They don't have anywhere to come together and collaborate.
And that's where you're stepping in on June 11th.
Yeah.
Tell us more about that event.
The Work Plus Brunch, it's a community for creatives to come together and network and explore different ideas, but also get information for grants and resources in the community that they can apply for.
Well, thank you so much for coming on. Before we wrap up, tell us where we can listen to your podcast.
Yes, you can listen to us on all major streaming platforms, hilltopglove.com. And like I said, that's pretty much it. I'm saying where if you want to listen to a podcast, we're there.
Well, Tamaya, Kevin, thank you so much for coming on the show. We'll make sure to include a link to their podcast and the Create and the June 11th event happening soon. All on SodaCityLive.com.
We gotta have you on as a guest.
Yeah.
Come on,
Yes.
I'll give y'all the real tea.
Okay.
I'll give y'all the real tea, all righty?